This is LA, our city, our home, Los Angeles. We never walk alone, forever true. We'll stay in tribute to our city, no matter where we go. This is our home.
Hello and welcome to This Week in LA. I'm Eli Lesser, your host, and I am pumped. I'm sitting here in my beautiful studio in central LA, and I am excited for round 3 of El Trafico, or LA Derby. Or if you're an LAFC fan, you probably don't consider this an LA Derby because you don't think the Galaxy are in LA. But they are. Anywho, I am so excited. This is my first pregame show I've ever done for you guys on the app, and what a better game to do it for than round 3, the season finale of 2018 of this new rivalry, arguably the best rivalry in all of sports. I gotta say it, man, even if I'm a little biased here. Anyways, I plan to do This Week in LA throughout the year because these are the two teams I follow the most. I can't hide that from you guys. And I know the most about them, and I have many connections to them, so I will talk about them. So if you're new to this rivalry, let's rewind to March 31st, the first meeting between the two. I believe the game was on Fox. Zlatan Ibrahimovic had just arrived in LA. But LAFC went up to an early 3-0 lead thanks to Carlos Vela and an own goal by the Galaxy. But the Galaxy kept fighting back, and as the score was 3-1, Sigi Schmidt decided to put in Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and that was a game changer as first Chris Pontius scored, and then Zlatan with the brace. The game-tying goal was arguably the greatest goal I've ever seen, and then the second goal was just a beautiful finish off an assist from Ashley Cole. Then let's go to July 26th. LAFC hosted this round, and they went up 2-0 early. Nice header from Carlos Vela early on. And then Lee Win with his first goal at LAFC. A beautiful free kick made it 2-0. But then again, the Galaxy fought back. Roman Alessandrini with a beautiful finish. And then Andre Horta with a mistake that gave the ball to Ola Kamara for a nice simple tap-in around goalkeeper Tyler Miller. Now, although it was a bad game for LAFC, the second game, as well as the first game, I will say with that second game, it could have been worse as Tyler Miller had arguably the greatest save I've ever seen, denying a simple tap-in from Roman Alessandrini, which would have been the third goal. Or actually, it could have been the second goal, but still, that would have allowed 3 goals. So kudos to LAFC there. But we have the last matchup today at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time in Carson on ESPN. We will have round 3. And boy, LAFC are going to be fighting for this one. I know both sides will, but come on. If you're LAFC, you want this game more than anything. So let's review kind of the current form of both sides. So the Galaxy, for a little bit, were going on a fantastic run. I believe they were unbeaten in 9 games, but since then they've had very poor results. We have a loss against Colorado in Colorado. Then we have Minnesota, which was a draw, but they easily could have won that game. A draw against Colorado, which they also could have easily won. And then last game on Sunday, they got destroyed. No, it was Saturday. Sorry. They got destroyed by the Seattle Sounders, which they were shorthanded for, which we'll get to in a bit. LAFC coming in hot. They won their last 2 games, beat RSL, beat the Colorado Rapids, so they're looking up right now. But like I said, there's no game that's more important to this team than this third game against the Galaxy. And they are the away team this time. So let's go through the injury report real quick. So Galaxy, yeah, they're dealing with a lot. Last game, they were missing all 3 designated players, Roman Alessandrini, Gio Dos Santos, Jonathan Dos Santos. They're missing defender Michael Ciani, and then they were missing the GOAT Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic is back tonight. Roman Alessandrini is questionable, but I would definitely think he'd be ready for this game. His injury is only 1 to 2 weeks, but they're still missing Giovanni Dos Santos, Jonathan Dos Santos, and Michael Ciani. But if you look back at the first LA Galaxy game, Galaxy were missing some of these players as well. I believe they were missing a Gio. They were missing Ciani. So we've seen a similar matchup before. And yeah, that game, it did look like LAFC was just going to purely dominate this team, but it did change in the end. But I'm not saying that's going to happen tonight. For LAFC, poor injuries to Adama Diomande, who is dealing with a left abductor strain. And then we have Mark Anthony Kaye, who is out for season with a fractured ankle. And then Quinn Roberts, the goalkeeper. But he was a backup goalkeeper, so we weren't actually expecting him. And actually, it's just in. Jonathan Dos Santos is questionable for today, so just keep that in mind. He might be in the lineup. That could be a game changer, honestly. Okay. Let's get into my projected lineups. Actually, no. These aren't my projected lineups, but these are the lineups that I think each team should go for. Okay? So we're going to start with the away team, LAFC. If they want to win this game, this is the lineup I would go with. At goal, you have Tyler Miller, of course. The dude's been a beast this season. At right back, you have the veteran in Steven Beitashour. Danilo Silva at right center back, who hasn't actually played in an El Trafico yet, so that'll be interesting to see. I do believe he'll start. Left center back, you have the captain, Laurent Simon. Left back, you have the veteran in Jordan Harvey. By the way, this formation is kind of a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. It's a little scattered all over. At center mid, I have Benny Faulhaber. At more of an attacking mid, I have Lee Win. Now, here's where it gets interesting. At cam, I'm actually going to go with Diego Rossi. At right wing, I'm going with Carlos Vela. Striker, I'm going with Christian Ramirez. But then at left wing is my most interesting pick, which I will get into right now, Latif Blessing. I witnessed the last El Trafico game in person, and Latif Blessing was so dominant on that left side for LAFC, always getting past the right back at the time, Dave Romney. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Bradley went with a similar tactic, starting Latif Blessing. And if he doesn't start Latif Blessing, he's going to be a great sub off the bench for LAFC. I would definitely look out for Latif Blessing today, as he is a very, very big threat on the wing. Okay, so for LAFC or LA Galaxy's lineup, I'm going to change it up because I just received word that Jonathan Dos Santos could be playing tonight. Okay, so I'm going with a 4-4-2, which is a very classic lineup. That's the lineup that Bruce Arena went with for most of his time with the Galaxy. So at goal, although I'm not the biggest fan of him, I'm going to go with David Bingham. Although I really want to see Justin Vom Steeg, their backup, start, I don't think this is the game to try something really, really, really new, even though they have been struggling. At right back, a player that hasn't really been a part of this rivalry, Rolf Feltscher. He's healthy again, and he is such a threat offensively. Defensively, I haven't seen too much from him, which could be a problem tonight, but Rolf Feltscher is definitely the man to go with at right back here. At right center back, I have Daniel Steres. Yes, he had the own goal the first game, but he is one of the veteran guys of this defense. And without Ciani, I definitely see Daniel starting at right back. At right center back. At right left back, this is interesting. I am not starting Jurgen Skjelvik. I lost my hope in Jurgen Skjelvik. I think he's a lost cause at this point. The man's being paid $1 million a year to slip and slide everywhere. At right left back, I have Dave Romney. This is a guy that we have not seen play this position in a long time, but I do believe this is his natural position. I really don't like him as a right back. If anything, he should be a left back because he does have that nice left foot, so I'd like to see him at left center back. He has the perfect build for a center back, not a fullback at all. So I'd really like to see him at this left center back spot. Then on left back, we have the obvious choice here, captain Ashley Cole. Then in the center midfield, I have Perry Kitchen, and I'm going to move my pick to Jonathan Dos Santos. This is a nice duo, very defensive duo, which I like. You have Perry Kitchen, who does the nitty-gritty stuff, and then Jonathan Dos Santos, a box-to-box midfielder with great vision and everything. He just needs to get more involved in play. So then my two wingers, at left wing, I'm going to go with Sebastian Lletget, and then at right wing, I'm going to go with Chris Pontius. Both players have scored in this El Trafico. Both players have been hot as of late. At least Lletget has been. Chris Pontius was hot earlier this season. And then up top, we have Ola Kamara and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So off the bench for both these sides, LA Galaxy, I see if Roman Alessandrini is available, he's got to come off the bench as a super sub. Could completely change the game if the Galaxy are down in this one. And then you also have a guy like Ima Boateng. Now, for LAFC, so one of the problems with LAFC in these El Trafico games is that they are having trouble finishing. Well, you know what? Since they've added Silva, that has sent Walker Zimmerman to the bench. Imagine putting Walker Zimmerman on as if LA starts to come back. You'll have that tank at center back, Zimmerman, to come on. Then I also have guys like Atuesta to help. Latif, if he doesn't start, will definitely be a part of that. And maybe a guy like Marco Urania. You need a goal. Urania's a great playmaker. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So here are my keys to the game for both teams, not players. So key to the game with LAFC, they know that defense for the Galaxy is shaky. For LAFC, honestly, just keep pressing. Press high up the pitch. Allow for the Galaxy defenders to make last-second nervous decisions. You have the pace in Rossi, Blessing, and Vela. Use that. Approach them with strength, also with Ramirez. Just keep pressing on the Galaxy. Also, Galaxy have been pretty weak up the wings defensively, and they struggle against very pacey wingers. That's why I have Latif Blessing in the lineup for LAFC. They need to utilize his pace. Then, keys for the Galaxy. First of all, don't go down 3-0, but if you do, well, don't give up. The Galaxy's biggest problem this season has been their effort in the first half. If they could find some way to fix that, they got to do, I don't know. But with the Galaxy, I think they also need to be more of a possession-based team. We see them oftentimes being outpossessed by their opponents, which makes their defense nervous. It's just facts. That's a natural thing. So I definitely think that the Galaxy need to play possession ball, not try to do these deep passes that don't work. Just keep the ball at their feet, and I think it will be a great game for them. So, my predictions for this game. I'm not exactly sure who I have winning, so I'm just going to make it up on the spot here. But if these teams fail to do what I think they should be doing, it's not going to be good for either side. I do think LAFC will have the edge on this one. I don't know this score. I'm sorry if that's a disappointment to any Galaxy fans listening. But that's going to wrap up our pregame show. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this show, make sure you drop a like and shout out this show. I'm Eli Lesser, and I leave you with This Is LA.
This is LA, our city, our home.